Welcome back to the only channel on YouTube that attacks your self-esteem right from the thumbnail by saying you can't sing something. And just obviously what I mean is no one can sing these vocal lines like the original singer because he's so unique in this case, right? Like every voice is unique. That's totally what the thumbnail means. You always knew there were no other implications, right? Not even when the thumbnail was impossible. Anyway, welcome back to the channel that is basically a tribute to how unique all these singers are and their hardest vocal lines ever, their most dangerous ones, the ones perhaps you shouldn't attempt without supervision. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. And today we have the 5 hardest vocal lines, but also songs by My Chemical Romance. Let me know if you can guess spot number 1 before we get into it. But spot number 5 is the song Cancer, which goes insanely high in our belting range, so M1. And Gerard really has a gift for enunciating words in such a high belting range, and still sounding completely understandable, unlike myself, in not so high of a range, and which is extremely difficult to do because he's going past the tenor vocal break all the time throughout this ranking. So all these songs that we'll be analyzing are already impossible to sing, you could say, without any vocal technique. If you want to go for the notes just by pushing, just by straining, just by shouting, you could say, just by using your yell or call shouting register, that will probably hurt or will leave some damage after a while. So to sing like he sings on the song Cancer, which takes spot number 5, is extremely not only beautiful but so difficult to do technically. Spot number 4 is the song I Don't Love You, which contains a vocal line that Gerard almost never sings live, which is usually a pretty solid indicator of how insanely difficult a song is. He's also sustaining A4s like on the song Cancer, but adding a lot of distortion, which makes it so much more difficult. And he has one note in which he goes up to a C sharp 5, which is over the tenor high C, which is insanely difficult to do. He never did live that I could find, of course. And I do take my research pretty seriously, as you can see on my Freddie Mercury video, in which I analyzed 200 live versions of Bohemian Rhapsody, because why not, right? Spot number 3 is the song Teenagers, which is just too difficult to even exist because it's constantly over the A4 all the time, reaching C5s, and it's just incredible. It sounds so good. They gonna rip up your heads, your aspirations to shreds, which is just beyond comprehension. Spot number 2 is Welcome to the Black Parade. This would be their second hardest song ever. Let me know if you can guess spot number 1. But yeah, it's even throughout all the time higher, sustained all the time. This demands so much air pressure, breath management, everything a singer needs at its most extreme level is what this song demands. And though we are God, believe me, your memory will carry you. But somehow Gerard can go even higher. I don't know how, but somehow it's possible, and still sounding great, to the very scientific upper limit of what a human being can make sound like their chest voice still. Scientifically speaking, it's probably mixed voice at this point, but just so well supported, like opera singers, that you can't tell. Which is what I teach at CRAZIEST.com. If you're ever interested, is how we go from the M2 laryngeal configuration, so falsetto, into M1. So you take any note like a B4, and you go from falsetto into chest voice. So that way, you're sure your notes are always consistent and they don't hurt your voice. So in the song Famous Last Words, Gerard is going to take this to the very upper limit of what any male singer can make sound like chest, into a D5, which is like the highest note in The Show Must Go On by Freddie Mercury, which is one of the hardest songs of all time, and he's singing them here. In from also that pitch in a totally powerful and beautiful way. So that's my ranking. I think some famous last words is their hardest ever, but let me know if I missed one in the comments.